7th of December 1967 was an historic date in the story of civil aviation. Here at Toulouse, at the Sud Aviation Works of Saint-Martin-du-Touche, preparations were being made for the ceremonial rollout of Concorde 001, prototype of the world's first supersonic airliner. The central band of the Royal Air Force and a French regional band were there to supply music for the occasion. The French piquet d'honneur assembles. The airlift of guests from London, Paris and Bristol was in itself a considerable feat of organization. All the aircraft arrived on schedule and within minutes of each other. Among the hundreds of guests who arrived were representatives of the manufacturers and the world's leading airlines, together with high-ranking representatives of the governments of Britain and France who are jointly sponsoring the Concorde project. Here, Monsieur Papon, President of Sud Aviation, welcomes Monsieur Chamon, French Minister of Transport. The world's press gathered to witness and report this memorable occasion. All these people converged on Toulouse for this Concorde's debut. The temperature was minus 10 degrees centigrade, but at least it was dry and the sun was shining. From Bristol, sister city of Toulouse on the Concorde project, came the Lord Mayor, Alderman the Reverend Vivian Jones, and the Sheriff. One of today's airliners brings a party from a customer airline, BAC, led by the airline's chairman, Sir Giles Guthrie. Press cameramen set themselves up on a rather chilly perch. The French ministerial party salute their piquet d'honneur. Television and radio were there to give worldwide coverage. All the guests were conducted to the specially erected stands. These gave some shelter against the bitter wind, but blankets were provided to ward off the extreme cold, and all were grateful. Mr. Julian Amery, who was British Minister of Aviation when the Concorde project was started. The two Concorde chief test pilots, Mr. Brian Trubshaw and Monsieur André Turcat, Dr. Russell, chairman of BAC Filton Division, and the guests watch as the great hangar doors open to reveal 001, the first Concorde prototype. Monsieur Maurice Papon, President of Sud Aviation, delivers his official speech of welcome.
Et Monsieur le ministre d'État chargé de l'aviation du Royaume-Uni, et Monsieur le ministre...
He was followed by Sir George Edwards, Managing Director of the British Aircraft Corporation, who referred to the progress being made on the second Concorde prototype in Britain.
This prototype, and to know that there's one in Great Britain looking very much the same, is a great reward for a lot of work and a lot of worry which a good many of us have put into it.
Monsieur Jean Chamon, French Minister of Transport, who paid tribute to the Anglo-French team who've designed and are building Concorde.
Ceux qui, dans les bureaux d'études, l'ont calculé et dessiné, ils en ont été les architectes.
And last of the official speakers, Mr. Anthony Wedgwood Benn, British Minister of Technology, who emphasized the appeal Concorde would have in halving current flight times.
It will be the most thoroughly tested plane in the whole history of aviation. And they see, as airline men, perhaps more clearly than anyone else, the significance of doubling your speed and halving your traveling time. It does, of course, change the face of the globe.
The speech is over. The official party now makes its way towards the hangar for the next part of the ceremony. And here, a touch of symbolism. The two ministers jointly cut the ribbons to release the aircraft for its ceremonial rollout. To demonstrate the international spirit of the event, the French band play God Save the Queen, and the British band, the Marseillaise. As the principal guests walk over to meet the representatives of the employees of the airframe and engine manufacturers, a heavy-duty tractor moves into position in preparation to tow the aircraft out. And these are some of the men who are building Concordes. And these are the senior captains and stewardesses of the top international airlines who've already placed options on Concorde. It's their turn to be introduced to the VIP party. Then, to the strains of those magnificent men in their flying machines, the aircraft is rolled out, and the world gets its first real sight of Concorde 001. This aircraft, with its partner 002, now nearing completion at BAC Filton, will spearhead the advance into a new era of civil aviation, supersonic jet travel. Subsonic airliners of today with the first of the supersonic airliners of tomorrow. An Entente test pilot between Monsieur Turcat and Mr. Trubshaw. British and French ministers were then invited to inspect the aircraft cabin. And this is what they saw. Not passenger seats, but a cabin chock-a-block with more than 12 tons of flight test equipment. This then is the first completed Concorde, demonstrating the success of Anglo-French cooperation.